Oh, I want baby girl.
Don't baby girl me. How many of your groupies you call baby girl? Is Tisha a baby girl? Is Amanda a baby girl too? And who the hell is Bonquisha? Is that even a name? Man, I can't live.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Sharane World, everybody. Let's go. We are live on YouTube. Welcome, everybody. Let's welcome all my victims, all my survivors, all my thrivers, or anybody that's out there that want to educate yourself. And you already know. Let's welcome all you narcissistic men and women up out there in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody night going? Yes. It is Friday. So you know them narcissists is lurking. You know they lurking. They up in them clubs and them bars and them shingdings. Right now, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely, they looking for new supply. They doing street pharmacist activities up out there in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sharane World. As you know, I'm Sharane. I'm a peer mentor survivor for domestic violence and narcissistic abuse for all men and women out here in Binghamton and the surrounding areas. Let's give a big round of applause to me for surviving such a situation like that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Yes, is that real? And let's give a big round of applause to all you men and women up out there in these streets that survived that situation too. Let's go. Round of applause. Because it's real up out there in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sharainesville, everybody. Let's go. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Sharainesville. Welcome, everybody. How's everybody night going? I hope you're having a blessed night tonight, making sure you staying focused. This is a stay focused chat with Sharane. All right, everybody. So, listen, I hope everybody is being focused tonight, getting the tools that you need, whatever it is, no matter who you are, male or female, up out here in these streets, especially located in Binghamton, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it tonight. Listen, if you're single and you're out there mingling and you're going to them clubs, them bars, and them shingdings, make sure y'all stay focused. You want to make sure that you're not out there with no narcissist, ladies and gentlemen. You want to make sure you're not mingling with a narcissist. You want to make sure you're not mingling with somebody that's a street that do street pharmacist activities. And you're damn sure to make you want to make sure you're not mingling with somebody that's trying to tell you a whole bunch of dreams and gaslighting you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Because they in them clubs, they in them bars, and I just told you the narcissist is in them bars. All right. So in Binghamton, if you go to them clubs, them bars, and them shingdings on Front Street, all right, make sure y'all stay focused up out there in them streets because you know they like to lurk for new supply. All right. And if you're in a domestic violence situation, please make sure you get yourself out of that situation, ladies and gentlemen, because that is not a it's just not a safe situation to be in. Okay. So yeah, get yourself out of that. And you can always reach out to licensed advocates. They're there to, to help you to understand what you got going on and what you got going wrong. Okay. So make sure y'all reach out to them advocates, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sharane's World. Let's get into this real quick. Let's go. If you are watching, all right, I'm live on YouTube. So if you're watching from my support group page, come on over to YouTube. If you are watching from my main page, my Tiana McLaughlin page, come on over to YouTube. Hit the like button. Let me know you here. All right, no matter who you are, male or female, okay? Let's go. We're going to get into this. Welcome to Sharane World. This is the story that I read over on the radio today, on my show today, okay, ladies and gentlemen. So I said, you know what? Let me come to YouTube and let me break my story down to everybody just a little bit so you guys get an understanding. All right, let's go. All right, so Sharane World, my survivor journey. Okay, let's go. Let's get into this real quick, everybody. Turning my pain into purpose. Good evening, everyone, which is, I should say, good night to everybody. Okay, this is Sharane. Hi, I'm Sharane. Welcome to Sharane's World. Tonight, I want to share something deeply personal. I want to talk about my journey as a survivor, the experiences that shaped me, and why I continue to use my voice to bring awareness to domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. I want everyone listening to understand something important. Behind every court case, every report, and every situation involving abuse, there are real people. There are real emotions. There are survivors who have to wake up every day and continue living with what they experience. My story is not just about what happened to me. My story is about how I survived, how I rebuilt myself, and how I found my purpose. One chapter of my survivor journey involves, you ready? Kwan Arms. In 2019, Kwan Arms was arrested in Johnson City, New York. Public reports stated that the arrest followed a domestic related investigation. News reports stated that police recovered a loaded handgun and illegal substance during the investigation. Court records later show that the case went through Broome County Court. The court record states that after a jury trial, Kawan Arms was convicted of charges including criminal possession of a controlled substance in the third degree, criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, criminal possession of marijuana in the third degree, criminally using drug paraphernalia in the second degree, and menacing in the second degree. The appellate court records also discusses evidence presented during the case involving a firearm during a domestic situation, and the conviction was later affirmed by the appellate court. Okay, but when people hear about a court case, they often only hear the legal words. They do not always hear the survivor's voice. They do not see the fear. They do not see the emotional pain. They do not see the healing process. They do not see what happens after the cameras are gone and the paperwork is filed. For me, this was not just a case. This was my life. This was my experience. This was part of my survival journey. Domestic violence could change a person. It can affect how you trust, how you feel, how you see yourself, and how you move forward. But my story did not end there. In 2024, I found myself facing another painful chapter in my life involving a relationship where I experienced what I described as narcissistic abuse. Okay, and that's with Mr. Smith. This taught me that abuse is not always physical. Sometimes abuse comes through manipulation, emotional control, gaslighting, blame, and making someone question their own feelings and reality. Many people do not understand why survivors stay or why leaving can be so difficult. They do not see the emotional attachment. They do not see the confusion, okay? They don't see the confusion at all. They do not see the hope that things will change. They do not see the fear of starting over. Narcissistic abuse can slowly break down a person's confidence and make them feel like they have lost their own voice. But I found my voice again. I learned that survival is not just about leaving a situation. Survival is also about healing. It is it is about rebuilding your confidence. It is about learning that you deserve peace, respect, and safety. Okay? So you gotta have some peace, some respect, and listen, and safety. I share my story because I know there are women and men listening right now who may be struggling in silence. Maybe you are questioning your relationship. Maybe you feel afraid. Maybe you feel like nobody will believe you. Maybe you feel like you have lost yourself. I want to hear, I want you to hear this, okay, ladies and gentlemen? You are not alone. Domestic violence and abuse do not discriminate. It can happen to women, it can happen to men, it can happen in different forms, including physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, and controlling behavior. The warning signs matter. Control is not love, fear is not love, manipulation is not love. Making someone feel powerless is not love. Okay, ladies and gentlemen? Today, I choose to turn my pain into purpose. Through Sharane World, with my radio show and my YouTube channel, my community awareness work, and my survival advocacy, I will continue creating conversations that many people are afraid to have. Here we go. I want survivors in Broome County, Binghamton, New York, and surrounding communities to know there is hope after trauma. Your past does not define you. What happened to you does not take away your worth. You can heal. You can rebuild. You can find your strength again. My story is not my shame. My survival is my strength. My voice is my power, and I will continue standing for survivors, women and men, because every person deserves to be safe, respected, and heard. And this is Sharane's World. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for listening to that. And I appreciate you all. Let's give a round of applause for that. Okay. So don't be out here dealing with these narcissists and these domestic violence people that's out here doing street pharmacist activities, ladies and gentlemen. And what I mean by pharmacist activities is don't be out here dealing with somebody that's, selling drugs or thinking that they can't get a job, so they got to resort out to selling drugs. Because if you think that dealing with a drug dealer is something I'm gonna tell you right now, that is not it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be out here dealing with these drug dealers, these street pharmacist activities, people that ain't got nothing going on and going wrong with themselves. Okay? Because if they out there doing street pharmacist activities, then what that make you, ladies and gentlemen? Okay? And if you seeing that, what that make you? So, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you get the tools in your pockets, okay? So let's go. Let's get into this real quick. All right, let's go. Welcome to Sharane's World. I might keep y'all here a little longer tonight. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Welcome to Sharane's World, everybody. Let's go. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So listen, y'all already know it's a different type of thing over here. So listen to all my men out there that's going through something. Just know I understand you. All right. If you are single and you're mingling, please make sure you get the tools. And to all my victims out there that's stuck in these situations and trying to figure out how to get up out of there, just know I understand you too. And there is a lot of tools out there that you need to be able to move on and get up out them situations, okay? And another thing, all right, let's get into this real quick. And another thing, all right, let's go. Welcome to Shrines, all y'all. I know, I know. Make sure y'all come on over to YouTube, hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to my channel, whatever you want to do. It don't really matter. All right. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this real quick before we get into anything. Okay. Let me say this. If you haven't already subscribed to Sharane's World right here on YouTube, I think you might want to do that because you're going to miss out on something juicy. So, all my people that's out there that want to see a nice video of educational purposes, of awareness, I could break it down to you guys of what not to do and what not to get yourself into. Okay. They want to see what happened on August 3rd between the 4th, 2025 as a awareness video. Please make sure that you subscribe to my channel because I'm going to put it on to only my subscribers only. So if you're not subscribed, you're not going to get it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, because it's not going to be public. It's only going to be viewed for my subscribers only. So to all my subscribers that's up here already, I appreciate all of y'all. Y'all are going to be the ones that's only going to be able to see it. So if you haven't already, subscribe to Sharane's World, everybody. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss the awareness. And that's all the video is about. It's not to shame nobody. It's not to put nobody down. It's not to talk about nobody or whatever the case may be. It is all as awareness, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Yes. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to have. And that's what's going to go on. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please make sure you come on over, subscribe to my channel so you can see that awareness video. Okay. And in that video, I will break it down. I will talk about it whatever the case, when it comes time to make that video, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure that y'all subscribe to my channel so you can see the video that I'm talking about that happened on August 3rd between the 4th, late at night, of 2025. Because my anniversary is coming up, and ladies and gentlemen, that was the day that my third eye was fully open. Okay. I mean, fully open. So yeah, you're gonna see in there, you're gonna see the narcissist, you're gonna see all that stuff, and I can break down the video to you guys. You're gonna see that. I have a lot of videos. I have a lot of pictures and stuff like that. But like I said, everything is for awareness. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. It is so you can understand what's going on and how these people operate up out here in the streets. So you don't put yourself in these same predicaments and you don't end up 6 feet under or behind bars, or you're just your brain, your mental is just so screwed over because you're so much dwelling on this narcissist or this domestic violence person. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So please, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. You definitely want to see that video because, like I said, it's not going to be public for everybody to see. It's only going to be for my subscribers only. So you don't want to miss out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Let's get into this before we head up out of here. Yes, yes, yes. Let me just say, so everybody's at them clubs, them bars, and them shindigs tonight. I hope everybody's getting the education that they need. I know my narcissistic ex is definitely in them clubs and them bars and them shindigs. Most definitely. Y'all stay focused, especially if y'all going to them clubs and them bars on Front Street in Binghamton. Like y'all gotta stay focused because that's what them narcissists and them DV people, they like to hang out there. They like to do street pharmacist activities. That's just what they do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? So listen, I'm gonna start heading up out of here. Y'all welcome to Sharane's World. I appreciate you all. Later.
You got a long way